from this matchup here tonight.
256 days ago in this very same building, it was a battle between the Titans and the Lightning. On that occasion, though, the Titans pulled away with the victory, eliminating the Lightning in Game 5 of the best of 5. Ironically enough, Coach, the away team won every game of that series, and yet 256 days later, here we are back at Budweiser Gardens. It's the season and home opener for your London Lightning, ready to do battle against the KW Titans. These two teams, the 4,200 minutes, that was 118 games of NCAA action for the Hillside, New Jersey native in the guard Damon Lynn. He also played 12 games in the G League for Texas. Also had a cup of coffee in Lithuania before playing 51 games last year for the Titans in Kitchener-Waterloo. 3-ball splash. Ice 'em. Makes it look easy even though it wasn't, Coach. It does find a wide open teammate as the clock is expiring. Welcome home, Marvin Phillips, the former London Lightning, giving the Lightning fans something to think about at the halftime break with their team up by 7.
Coach got a little lucky there. He was pretty animated. He thought there was an offensive foul on that last screen, so he definitely let the referee know that he thought he missed one.
Peanut butter and jam on your Friday evening, and that really lit the fire underneath the keisters of the fans here at Budweiser Gardens. And I mentioned it before, 64,000 fans showed up here to Budweiser Gardens last season to cheer on the London Lightning, averaged to about 2,800 people per game. That was good for second in this league, and again, that hidden X factor of just having that crowd behind you on any given night.
Yeah, it's great to hear people up in the crowd, and that last play with the dunk resulted from a really good defensive play.
He's going to step back for another 3. Damon Lynn, back-to-back jacks from downtown.
Lightning got caught on a switch, post backed up, gave him just enough space to make that 3.
Lead has been dwindled down to 2. The final shot of this third quarter of action. Damon Lynn, 3-ball splash. And that concludes 3 quarters of action from Budweiser Gardens on your Friday evening. A 15-point lead for the London Lightning. They truly have control after 3 quarters of action. Was Traymar Sutherland. Back the other way come the Lightning with a bit of a head fake. That time was Moon trying to rattle it around, and eventually the ball decides to go home. It's into the paint, kicks it out. 3-ball for Harris, won't go. Grabbed away by Xavier Moon. Slam, jam, thank you, ma'am. Marcus Capers with the slam dunk extends it to an 8-point lead with 2:49 left on the clock. At midcourt, it's Jonathan Harris and Isom. Titans, Lightning, right now on Rogers TV. Moon with a bounce pass to Isom, to Williamson, to the wide open Gaines. Yes!
Nice extra pass, they deserve.
Right, being down by 4, that half-hearted dunk by Moon kind of gets this crowd back in it, and so does this stuffing by Capers. For the home squad, finds Gaines, 3-ball on the red, kicks. Looking classy. Ellis trying to work it to the big man who's double-teamed in Harris. Harris doesn't care about the numbers, and 1, Jonathan Harris. Titans, he'll find Williamson with the outlet, down low to Capers with the jam. Didn't like the original entry, so he's going to set it all up again. Tries to repeat it and gets the and 1 to go. It's Isom, almost being stripped, gets it back. Moon for 3, splash! He can't get the shot to go, rebounded by Moon, pushing the pace up the court. Moon attacking the rack and gets the finger roll to go. The crowd that was standing on their feet can sit down here at Budweiser Gardens.
Shot out of a cannon. Moon picks up where he left off. He's in a groove right now.
Bland for 3. Pretty nifty retaliation immediately by Bland and the Sudbury 5.
Got a one-on-one situation and went at it.
Retaliating is Sudbury, and a 3 for Jalen Bland, his 3rd of the quarter. 9 points already for the Reseda, California native. How much fuel is in the tank after 46 minutes of court time last night? Pulls up from the charity stripe, rattles it around, and it drops. Being watched fiercely by J.R. Holder, tries to split the defenders, and attacks the rack.
The kids make it to the professional
ranks. Gives up the rock, though. Capers with the jam! Lightly spread this time. Just of the opening quarter. Josiah Moore pushing the pace for Sudbury. Tries to lay it off the glass. Won't go. Beautiful offensive rebound by Brady Skeens, the Kansas native at 6'7". Got him to go in, though. Turning the tide the other way to the Lightning. It's Williamson putting it in the rim.
Great push coming right back at you.
Oh, my word. Alley-oop. Marlon Johnson with an emphatic retaliation.
Gotta clear his guys a little bit. Need them to box out and clear the glass.
Capers trying to find Isom, interrupted by Marlon Johnson with the hammer. Williams Jr. goes to the paint, rejected though by Capers, and that's the defense you were talking about earlier.
It's only with Phillips.
Phillips leading the team in points, instead kicks it out for a three from Williamson. It's good! 14 points from Williamson as he makes his first from downtown this Sunday afternoon. Sudbury 5. Anything you can do, I can do better. J.R. Holder will make his first three as well from downtown. He's got 7 so far this afternoon, as far as 2 in that category over the first 24 minutes. Xavier Moon to the lane, to the moon and back. He gets up into the air. Showing it here on the board, Team Canada has prevailed over Team Russia in the World Junior competition. The gold medal goes to Team Canada, and Randy Phillips also gets the London faithful something to cheer about as they see it here on the home board. Desperation 3 with the dying seconds of the third quarter won't go. Lightning by 7 after the third quarter as the crowd applauds what, well, not just the Phillips dunk, but Team Canada prevailing over Russia in the golden overtime. Town. Directing traffic right now is the veteran, born in Pennsylvania, drives into the key, tries to put up the reverse, and 1 for Williamson. Give him 23 points, trying to make it 24.
Richmond Rowe.
Moon with the strip. Moon takes the ball away, gives it to Gaines, up the court to Williamson, gets it in, and the Lightning lead by 6. Side. Or is it going to Marlon Johnson? J.R. Holder also trying to get open. It's Holder. Holder has to put up the desperation heave. It won't go. Lightning win. Lightning win. They burn the barn down in a 139-136 final. What a game from Budweiser Gardens on your Sunday afternoon. And welcome to Budweiser Gardens here in beautiful, well, snowy wonderland on a Thursday evening. It's funny how a storm is brewing outside, and yet it's an island storm welcoming the London Lightning inside. And going off the magic number of 5 that Greg Bowman was alluding to at courtside, 5 wins in a row, the 5th game of a 5-game homestand. But I'll mention this to you, John, 355 days ago was the last time these two teams hooked it up here at Budweiser Gardens, and it was the London Lightning winning 105 to 93. But John, you're not taking too much away from that. It was many moons ago. But you are right, partner. The last time these two teams hooked it up, Garrett Williamson played a factory at a double-double in that game. And as we saw in the last broadcast here on Rogers TV, like the kids like to say, he messed around and got a triple-double. What makes this guy so amazing on all angles of the court? It looks like the Island Storm, who are heavily living and dying by the 3-ball this year, are looking to respond with just that. Instead, they work it down low, fighting and keeping it alive as Xavier Moon back the other way, through strong to Williamson.
Nice, spin off that backboard. Great body control. London looks like they like this pace. They are really taking advantage of the quick pace at the moment.
What a
terrific move.
1. Robbie Robinson rolled the highlight reel.
Absolutely.
Looking
with
to
him down there.
extend on the 9-point lead. It's Williamson. Beautiful pass. That rim has a family, sir. Otis, a Yikik bowler with no regard for human life. The Storm, and kissing it off the window and in is Alex Campbell, who again 37 games for the Storm last season, started in 27, 33.1 minutes per game, 13.3 points per contest, 6.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and all those numbers are improving this season, John.
I know it.
The third quarter, only 2 Storm products have reached double-digit point production. Jonathan Lloyd's leading the team as Williamson on the reverse gets the and 1 off the square. It never hit the rim, but it's the Storm pulling away with the rock. Lillard up the court. Great pass and a 2-hand cram from Nathaniel Wright. Side now, being watched by Alex Campbell. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Williamson slicing it, dicing it, getting it to go. In their first encounter of 3 in the 2019-2020 season, the Lightning prevail 131-122 in their first taste of Atlantic competition on your Thursday night. Lightning win over the Island Storm. Cliff Clinkscales, 2,000 plus assists in this league, the first ever player to accomplish that feat. Hall, grabs the pass, sandwiched between a couple Lightning, corner three instead. Hall with a beautiful assist, and Kindred caps it off. Make that 2 of 4. He's going to hustle back on defense, get in the way of AJ Gaines, who says, no, you don't, sir, and brings down the hammer.
Gaines running.
Back and said it's Gaines. Looking around at his options, the Capers, and smart move by Capers, letting all the pieces on the chessboard set back up with a fresh shot clock. A little bit of a crossover. Capers to Phillips. Attack the rack.
That hurt before the game.
Well, he almost hurt the cylinder. Hall with the spin-off.
Oh,
nice
wow.
move by Hall. And with 2:48 to go, we get a timeout by Doug Plum. It'll be the Hurricanes with the final shot, though, of the quarter. They got to think about it. Clock's winding down. A long three dialed up, and he drills it at the buzzer. Clink Scales, holler at you, homeboy. Pulls his team within one.
Oh, my.
Arsenal, the Canadian, going to the rim, and he's rightfully rejected by Capers. Feeds Gaines. Gaines trying to go coast to coast with the play, and they do. It goes through.
Terrific thing.
Phillips, it gets interrupted, though, by Clink Scales. Corner three.
He's
Bang! Kindred. 13 points now in the game. Mason handles the pass with his left hand, trying to cross up AJ Gaines over AJ Gaines, and he rattles it in. What a basketball play for Antoine Mason. Thank you, Greg. 4 in 10. That's the record for the Halifax Hurricanes coming into the game. They came off of a loss to the Sudbury 5 by 6 points up in Sudbury. That broke up a 2-game winning streak. Why is that so important? Well, this is the last game of their road trip. They'll go back home, and next Thursday, they'll play the Windsor Express before they play 3 straight games against the Atlantic Division leading Moncton Magic. It's safe to say, with a 1-point lead over the Central Division London Lightning right now, this is imperative for the Halifax Hurricanes to pull out a win on your Sunday afternoon. Rippled like a drop in a bucket. As the other way ends, Phillips, once again, attacking the rack. 25 points in this game for Kindred. He's 10 of 15 from the field.
Bully ball.
Do respond through Randy Phillips. You need to see more of that from him.
Absolutely. AJ Gaines just going off for a brief minute. Catch his breath. He's coming back on the floor shortly.
That will be the 10th assist already in this game for Clink Scales, feeding his teammate Marvel Waite with his 9th point of the game. This one will count for Isom.
Moved it one more quickly, it might have been, but
Mason over
creating his own
Capers.
shot. Oh my
word!
He is heating up.
Well, he was left to just 7 points in the opening half, and yet now he has 13. He's 3 of 4 from downtown. Gaines trying to respond, and he retaliates.
His hands up high. That's what the big guys know.
Capers interrupts the play, finds Bolden to Gaines. Gaines towards the rack, gets it done. His Kindred thought about shooting it right in front of AJ Gaines' face, instead gets real estate, goes right after the rack, and lays it in. Kindred, 32 and counting in this game.
Right.
Bolden, the veterans. Bolden near wing. He's going to take a 3. He does in the face of Marvell Waite. Book it. And on your Sunday afternoon, the Hurricanes suffer their second loss of the season at the hands of the London Lightning, this time 112-97. Lightning win. Lightning win. They stay undefeated here at Budweiser Gardens on your Sunday afternoon live on Rogers TV. Bowman, Bolden, and Capers getting the job done. The 2 veterans for Doug Plum on an otherwise empty bench. Officially 5 guys out of the lineup, including 3 key stars, in my opinion: Garrett Williamson, Xavier Moon, and Omar Strong. With that being said, though, John, how good does that predict the future for the Lightning that they're able to pull out a 15-point victory with 3 major factors out of their lineup? Well, the last time these 2 teams hooked it up here at Budweiser Gardens, John, I want you to take this in. 275 points. 139 points produced by London. That's the most offense the Lightning have produced in this season so far. 136 points given up, though. The most defensively given up by a pretty strong defensive team when you look at the stats, an offensive bonanza. But we know from time to time the stats do lie. What do you expect coming into this Thursday affair? 1 games left on the schedule here in the NBL of Canada. Capping off the Garrett Williamson passes Marcus Capers with the hammer. Points. Phillips as a person, though, we feel like is turning a corner and could be a pivotal part of Doug Plum's offense. He had 28 points and 8 rebounds in his last game against the Sudbury 5 in that big victory over the Halifax Hurricanes, where they had a 35-18 fourth quarter. That was large in part to Randy Phillips, who had a double-double. 20 points, 12 rebounds. Here's the thing, out of those 12 rebounds that I like, John, 7 were offensive, and he did it with 5 personal fouls for the majority of the fourth quarter.
Yes, he did.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
Williamson, European sidestepping his way to a bucket. Marlon Johnson leads everybody on the court with 11 points. This is a guy that won a CEBL championship last year for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. This is his first year in the league. He played 2 seasons with New Mexico Highlands. That's a Division III school after 2 years at Tallahassee Collegiate College in JUCO. His teammate, but it's out of his reach now for Capers. The other way with a 2-hand cram as Marlon Johnson.
Good.
It's a hoop and a harm. J.R. Holder now in double-digit point territory and have an Xavier Moon or an Omar Strong to lean upon. They do have an A.J. Gaines.
And he does make a pay. Good call, partner.
Back to Gaines, little hot potato. Download up Phillips. Attack the rack with the hammer, good sir. See in that far corner. Isom drop past the Capers. 2-hand cram. Straight now by Skeens. Attacks the rack. Kicks it out for Capers. 3-ball. Ripples the nylon. Pulling it away. Driving it up the court. Zigzagging it to the rack. And this time they force it down the throat of the 5. Slap at the ball. Got it back to J.R. Holder. Holder couldn't get it to go, but Johnson soars through the air and crams it down.
Which one is going to crack first?
Williams Jr., European sidestepping his way to the left-hander off the glass. Go! 10 seconds left, rebounded by the 5. Down by 1. Sudbury still has a shot. Marlon Johnson to the rack. Johnson lays it in with 3 seconds left on the clock. Whistle's gone. He's got to find the inbound now or call a timeout. Capers finds Gaines. Gaines puts up the shot. It won't go. Rebound by Isom. It won't go. Sudbury 5 pull out the comeback victory on your Thursday night. 117-116. It's the first loss at Budweiser Gardens in the entire 2019-2020 season for the London Lightning. What a crazy conclusion. The bizarro world we entered in that final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Somehow, with Sudbury trailing, the theatrics of all the shot clock and game clocks going off benefited the visiting team. And they beat the London Lightning for the first time in 10 games on this court, John. What a game. I'm still at loss for words. John, I'm a big history buff.
Okay.
If we go off of ancient history, well, 360 days ago, that's the last time these two teams hooked it up. And ironically, it was right here at Budweiser Gardens. London led from opening bucket to final whistle. At one point, they led by 32 points. An 18-point final. Like I said, ancient history. If we go off of recent history, well, London Lightning are coming off of a tough 1-point loss to Sudbury 5, and the St. John's Edge are coming off of the win on their recent road trip. It's safe to say one team in recent history is coming in with good momentum.
So
Coach Marcus comes in with excellent accolades when you consider he's a part of the Red Claws in the G League.
yeah,
in fact,
main Red Claws, Boston Celtics. 3
of his players advanced, 2 of which actually put on a Boston Celtics uniform.
Yes.
So you got to be coached well, but both teams have that in their pockets, John, as Doug Plum will be looking to make, well, not necessarily adjustments, but see more consistency out of his team over the course of 48 minutes. It is Mo Bolden going up against Carrington Ward. It is the Edge versus the Lightning right now on Rogers TV here on your Saturday night. On it right now is Williamson to Capers. 3-ball is up, bullseye. Contest in a Lightning uniform. Bolden for 3, bang! Push the pace a bit.
That's what I'm wondering. I think that's exactly what London wants.
Isom for 3, nothing but nylon.
Benny coming off the bench,
causing havoc, marauds the ball away, but then gets rejected this time from Tyrone Watson. Coach Carrington Ward for the St. John's Edge is coming off of a team-leading 22-point performance in that 13-point victory on the road over the KW Titans. He's pointless after 12 minutes of play, 0 for 2 from downtown, but he's in good company, Coach. The rest of his team a combined 0 for 12. Phillips, he'll be helped out as Edwards from Cadogan. Right back the other way, Isom helps out Phillips. Side slashes his way past Williams and lays it in. Gonna go take a trip towards the rack at the baseline, leaves it there for Isom. Shots up, it is good, head to the line. Radio dial, bounce passing it now to Watson. Watson on the set play, rejected by Williamson, and is Isom pulling away for Moon.
No second chance point that time.
Moon up to Williamson, slices, passes it to Capers. 3-ball is up, and it is good. Marcus Capers from shot clock. Going back to work right now for the St. John's Edge. Who else? It's the North York native, Junior Cadogan. First attempt won't go. Into the recycling bin is Tyrone Watson with the N1 play. Competition Academy. It was a 2012 Jordan Classic Regional MVP. That's a tournament put on by Nike to find out who's the best high schoolers across the board. And the Greensboro, North Carolina native in his first year of the league was the MVP of it in 2012. So he had a lot of accolades in high school and followed up with 4 great years at Florida State.
You are just amazing with all those histories and stuff.
Is getting better as this game goes on, and the other team not so much. The Lightning are actually cooling off at the worst time. Capers trying to change that, and he does. The spark that Doug Plum needs.
Attempts and makes in this game. So.
James with the two-hand cramp from Williamson, but they need points, brother. The St. John's, well, Edge don't just edge one out, they make a statement here. 109-98 over the London Lightning. They've now won 2 of their first 4 road games of the season as the greatest line in all sports forms at midcourt. Back-to-back losses as the streaky London Lightning continue that trend in this season. My heart goes out to Marcus Capers. He almost had a triple-double in the last loss to the Sudbury 5. Here he led the London Lightning with 29 points, but he couldn't get the job done. Large in part to Kane Broom, who stepped it up in that second half of play, specifically in the fourth quarter after being, well, lackluster in the second and third cues. He finishes with 27 points. Just behind him, consistent for the majority of the night, is the Canadian Junior Cadogan. Lightning left the cozy confines of Budweiser Gardens. Well, they left on a losing streak, John. That actually increased to a 4-game skid, large in part to the Windsor Express, but thanks to a 125-121 victory in their last encounter, London does come back to the Forest City on a good note. How imperative is that to this game, a place where they're still technically on a 3-game skid?
Yeah, they lost their last 3 home.
Garrett Williamson, who, by the way, went to Lower Merion High School.
Yeah, you said that. Now, why does that ring a bell with our audience?
The late, great Kobe Bryant went to Lower Merion. In fact, after his passing, they retired his jersey in Lower Merion in a fantastic ceremony. Sam Muldrow at the line. As I mentioned in the starting 5, he is the block party, folks. The first one won't go, though, as he leads this league in all-time blocks. He spent 4 seasons in Europe, Greece, Ukraine, Lithuania, and Germany. 128 games before coming to this league.
How do you find out all these things? Right.
Here for the home squad. Capers bounce past to Phillips. Do the Florida natives hook it up? They do. Hoop and the harm for Randy Phillips. Williamson back into express territory. Beautiful pass again by Moon and one by Williamson. That was all set up, though, by the Goodwater, Alabama native and Xavier Quarter. A completely different story. Forte, I mean, that looked straight up awkward, and it worked. Phillips, Moon saves the half-court violation. Now Moon to the left side, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Randy Phillips to Gaines for 3.
Oh, my, under pressure.
14 lead changes. Oh, my word. What a rejection from Xavier Moon. At 6'2", launched himself into the air and broke out a batch of stuffing on, well, Mr. Jones. And yeah, it's just 3 from the line so far, John, but 100% from the charity stripe. As Osei will kick it out. Muldrow for 3, book it.
The big man can shoot as well.
Leading the league in blocks over his career, and like you just mentioned, puts on the brakes at midcourt. 2 seconds left. Long 2 is up, hits the rim, won't go. Forte slapped at it, and they knock it in. Now the officials are going to have a conference about this. The coach for the Express quickly goes in there. Are they going to say it is counted? If you ask me, partner, I don't think it should. They're going to count it, partner. Wow. And you see on the replay, Forte did slap at the ball. Anderson was right there. He waved it off immediately, but the officials say the bucket is John. They're leading by 1. They should be leading by 3. The officials do not get the benefit of the doubt like you and I do up here in the broadcast booth of replays here on Rogers TV. But if you look to the last Forte opportunity, this shot should not have counted.
Nope, it was so close, so hard to call. And like I said, if he didn't have it actually in his hand, it counts, right? But there it says 0-0.
Williamson slicing and dicing, rejected by the back of the rim. Offensively rebounded by Phillips, who muscles it back into the cylinder.
His game.
2 weeks since we've been on the air here on Rogers TV. Forte now. Oh my word! Hoop and the harm. Cameron Forte, welcome to London. Color barrier like Jackie Robinson in baseball. And, well, Willie O'Ree in hockey. It's hard to believe that it was until Well, Halloween night of 1950 as A.J. Gaines pulls up a three and can't get it to go. But that's when Earl Lloyd broke the NBA's color barrier when he stood up for the Washington Capitals. Yes, the Washington Capitals basketball, not hockey team. And they played the Rochester Royals. The Rochester Royals eventually turned into the Sacramento Kings as Capers gets a 2-ball to extend it to a 7-point lead. Capers beyond the arc, lunges in, kicks it out for Green for three, rattles around, and glass is disrupted by Capers. Numbers the other way. Forte to the rack, and he breaks up the left-hand hammer.
But they're not back on D. Oh, good hustle by
Jalen
Tate.
Asking you shall receive. Back the other way. Gaines to Forte. Somehow comes back to Gaines.
He was out of bounds, yeah.
And he can't touch the ball, but he did.
Here comes a jam. Look at this. Who knew he can get up, too, like this with a left hand slam?
And not wanted to be posterized that time, and I don't blame him. Was Osei.
He took too long getting back on defense. Did you see that? They had a bit of a break. Good thing Tate's got some speed. He cut that pass right off. They would have got that basket back right away. Weren't for Tate's hustle.
Checking in late will be Garrett Williamson for Tyrell Green. Williamson so far in this game, 8.6 assists and 2 rebounds. But again, Cameron Forte. You said that they'd have to go to somebody else, John, but I guess not. 31 points, 12 rebounds. He's getting it done on both ends of the court.
Yeah, well, Green's got 16 and Gaines has got 13. Now Tate's at 11.
Connell
so they
Brown,
got 4 guys in double figures now.
Three-night contest. Cameron Forte leading everybody on the court. Nice dish to Capers, two-hand jam.
Good.
Jalen Tate fakes the three to Moon. Over to Gaines for three.
Huge game.
Well, after breaking up a 4-game losing streak in Windsor, the London Lightning get their 10th victory here at Budweiser Gardens on your Saturday night. 124-110. Lightning win their second straight game against the Bowman. There was a sweep. Technically, the London Lightning swept the Windsor Express tonight at home. The 3 games they played against the Express tonight, they won all 3.
Okay.
Now, these two teams will see each other another 2 times for a total of 9 occasions this season. They'll play in the final game of March and the final game of the regular season in April. But here tonight, wow, Cameron Forte. It must be his forte to play the Express because he's been in the player of the game.
That's the only team that he knows so far.
That's right, back-to-back
The rest of the
performances.
league's going to stand up and take notice pretty soon of a Forte. He keeps playing like that.
A down-low presence. Let's face it, we
Yes.
saw it, kind of a foundation poured in from Randy Phillips this season, but it certainly is being built on by Cameron Forte.